Today's podcast guest is Mrs. Rashida Shabir. She is a specialist in play areas. She is director of Pan India Play, which makes playground equipments, and she has a vast experience of about 29 years. Podcast में आप देखेंगे how does the playground or play equipments make a difference in people's life. So let us welcome Mrs. Rashida Shabir. Rashida ji, welcome to our podcast. It's a pleasure to have you. A very different kind of a guest we have.
Right. So, Kishen, it is such a wonderful pleasure to not only meet you, but even be on the podcast. It's an honor. So, I would like to thank you for that. Thank you very, very much for having me here.
Sure.
And that's
Sure. Same here.
amazing introduction.
Yeah, sure. It's a pleasure. So, अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए ना, जैसे how did you come into this, or what are you exactly doing with the playground equipment and things like that?
Right. Actually, it's a lot of people ask me, कि playground पे कैसे आ गया? मतलब, how is it happening? So let me just tell you a little bit about myself and then tell you how it came about. So थोड़ा सा हटके story है, लेकिन I will just introduce myself. So I'm Rashida Shabir. I'm the owner of Pan India. I'm a play area specialist. I design and develop playgrounds. I have been doing that since 29 years now. And we are the India representatives for several companies in Asia, Europe. Of course, we have Indian lines. So we have a very comprehensive and global portfolio in play and recreation, sports surfacing, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, that's what we do. And it's a very different line, I would say, not extreme at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
We started just with one trampoline. We started making trampolines 29 years ago.
Okay.
Then there was no internet at that time. If you recall, right? Like 29 years ago, there was no internet.
नहीं था, there was nothing. Yeah. Like,
हाँ, in fact, trampoline ही नहीं था. तो ऐसा था कि भाई trampoline क्या है वो भी पता नहीं था. बहुत अगर हम रईस हैं तो आप अमेरिका जाके एक ट्रैम्पोलिन अपने बैकयार्ड के लिए लेके आओगे. अभी इंडिया में सिर्फ आप मैगजीन्स में देखा करते थे कि भाई ट्रैम्पोलिन कोई जंप कर रहा है, बट उसके आगे ट्रैम्पोलिन क्या है किसी को कुछ पता नहीं था. My husband and me, we started doing this trampoline, teaming up with people, making trampolines, and we started selling trampolines in a market which didn't even have any knowledge about trampolines.
Okay.
Right? जैसे अपना cell phone होता है, right? We have a cell phone. Everybody knows what is a cell phone, right?
Correct.
It's just you have to sell the cell phone. लेकिन in a market where there's trampoline ही कुछ पता नहीं किसी को, तो पहले तो you have to, So the thing is, we started making trampolines because it was just fun. I had just finished my master's in English literature, right?
Okay.
So I just wanted to, my husband came up and said, okay, let's do trampolines. And I'm like, wow, trampolines is so much fun. Let's do it. And, I just basically jumped into it. Literally, I jumped into it.
Okay.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought कि इतना fun है कि भाई everybody will enjoy it. And why not do it?
Yeah.
There was no career plan or there was no big, ऐसे कुछ था नहीं.
So, which year you started this making these trampolines?
29 years ago.
Okay.
1995, I think.
Yeah. So then the journey started.
And it was very organic actually. We were making these trampolines and we were just, enjoying ourselves, literally.
Yeah.
Literally, teaming up with people and, making and selling trampolines. And then when someone, we go to schools and they would say, आपके पास slide है, आपके पास झूला है. I never said no to anybody. I just never say no. And I said, okay, let's do this. So we started making a slide or, a swing or whatever that came our way.
Yeah.
Just kept on growing, and then we teamed up with many other, manufacturers. We started making and creating new things. About 10 years ago, I decided, okay, I was pretty bored. of
Yeah.
just selling these swings and slides and trampolines and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I thought there was no creativity happening. I was actually bored, right?
Hmm.
So then I said, okay, let's check out what's happening in the world, about
Okay.
playgrounds. So I started doing a lot of research on a global scale. Okay. So from Asia to Europe, America, what's happening in this industry? Yeah. Because a lot of times, clients of mine would say, Sheena, yeah, they go. They would go to Europe and they would send me these things on, videos and photographs on WhatsApp. This is
Yeah.
amazing. See, have a look at this. We don't have this in India. तो ये जो चीज है ना, ये लाइन कि भाई अपने इंडिया में ये नहीं,
हाँ.
तो ये मुझे ज्यादा खटकने लगा कि भाई ये क्या बात हो गई कि अपने इंडिया में नहीं है, का मतलब क्या है
हाँ.
और क्यों नहीं है? हम क्यों ये स्विंग स्लाइड सीसों के इर्द गिर्द ही घूमते रहते हैं?
हाँ.
और क्यों हमारे यहाँ पे इनोवेशन नहीं है? So why haven't we graduated beyond the swing slide seesaw, multi-unit or PlayStation point?
Yeah.
And I felt that we should get into India more innovation, more different designs, because what does play do, right? Play is basically not just about play. Our children are learning so many skills with it, right?
Yeah.
And so much of skill development happens on a playground, right?
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
we don't give our children innovative stuff to play with, then how are they going to grow and develop their skills
Yeah.
in a more holistic fashion? So we need to provide them with innovation so that they are in step with other people in the world where play is concerned,
Yeah.
right? So play is about, learning curve. Children,
Correct.
it's not just about play, right?
No.
They're learning so many cognitive skills, strength, agility, balancing, cognitive skills, leadership skills, collaborative skills. Right?
Yeah.
When they're playing with each other, interactivity, integration, inclusivity.
Absolute.
So many things a playground can teach us. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so our children also stay in step with the rest of the world where play is concerned, because that's where their skills are getting developed. And so I started to do all this research online on a global scale. In fact, I met a lot of people worldwide, other play areas specialists, other companies, school heads, you name it. I met so many people online, and a lot of companies, who met me, and other professionals who met me. And, some of the companies got back and they were so impressed with what I was doing in India. And they said, why don't you represent our company in India? So I started getting all these opportunities,
Okay.
to just team up with people automatically, organically.
Yeah.
And they loved my work and they said, we want you to be our India representatives. You can,
Amazing.
marketing and installation and everything.
तो इस तरह आपके पास ये सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज आ गई अलग अलग कंपनीज को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए. Okay.
Automatically, I just never went up to it.
Amazing.
It came to
So the beginning was very enterprising और आपने भी थोड़ी लीडरशिप रोल उसमें प्ले किया एंड so that आप नई नई चीज इनोवेट कर सको और कुछ नया ला सको इंडिया में बच्चों के लिए. That is how you got opportunity and people connected with you.
Yes, because actually I think play is a mindset. It's a passion. It's not just if you think only in terms of numbers and business and this, that, then I would be happy selling this, that swings like seesaw and multi-unit, right? मतलब उस तरह में बहुत अच्छे से business चल ही रहा था. But
जी हाँ.
मतलब I like to be creative. I like to push the boundaries, and I'm always innovating, and I'm always upgrading my portfolio to the extent that everybody in the office is sick of me. Because they're thinking, okay, hold on now. I'm just always adopting new things, and I like that because I think that's where the passion comes in. Say, okay, let's do this and let's do that. और ये करती हूँ.
Yeah.
तो इस तरह से वो मतलब धमाल होती रहती है.
So So मुझे ये बताइए, there is a lot of importance of play equipments in real estate is what I've seen, and that is how this podcast came about today when we last met at a program and event and we discussed. So इसमें you attract a lot of families. So आपके हिसाब से how the presence of quality play equipment can be a major draw for families and children, and can you give us some examples how it influences their buying decisions? किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट में अच्छे इक्विपमेंट लगने के बाद लोग उसे पसंद करते हैं, बच्चे उसे पसंद करते हैं बिकॉज उनको लगता है कि उनके पास अच्छी प्लेइंग की फील्ड है. सो ये किस तरह उनका डिसीजन करता है टू कम एंड बाय एट दैट प्लेस? कैन यू गिव अस सम
So
एग्जांपल?
let's see. I will take you another route. मैं अलग route से बात करूंगी.
जी.
Okay. Suppose
Yeah.
आपके सोसाइटी में प्लेग्राउंड ही ना,
हाँ.
तो कैसे होगा? पहले वे वो बताए कि भाई अगर प्लेग्राउंड है तो बहुत अच्छा है, लोग खेलेंगे, ऑब्वियस है, राइट?
हाँ.
So that is the obvious way to answer this question, that people will have fun, children and engaged, children are playing with each other, everybody is happy. But let's
Yeah.
consider what would happen if you're living in a society where there is no play and no open spaces.
या तो बहुत ड्राई है.
Have you? बहुत, मतलब आप सोचिए, look at the life of a child.
या.
Let's see. Child gets up, he goes to school, and school में इतना सारा stress होता है, deadline होता है, competition होता है, so much of stuff is happening over there. Children
Yeah.
have to, and at, let's say, in the evening, and if supposing the children don't have a playground to play नीचे,
Yeah.
on करने के लिए है नहीं, तो क्या करेगा बच्चा, बताइए? Automatically that will go to electronics.
करेक्ट.
So one of the most hazardous things that we are always talking about right now, everybody's
Yeah.
talking about, is what electronics is doing to our children.
करेक्ट. या.
Children need physical activity. Children need interactivity. Children need to play with their friends, to talk with them, and just free play. We're not talking about competitive sports right now.
करेक्ट.
Okay? Because हम बच्चे आते हैं तो उनको भेज देते हैं टेनिस में भेजो ये, but basically all of that is competitive sports.
या.
When we are talking about in a playground where it is just free, we're talking about the concept of free play, where there is no competition happening,
करेक्ट.
and where not formal competition happening. Nobody is pushing them into, excelling above others or
Yeah.
those kind of. Where we're talking about free play, where children will go down, interact. चलो नीचे आ जाओ, बच्चे आएंगे नीचे, स्लाइड पे खेलेंगे, भागेंगे इधर से उधर, और they will create their own imaginative play. या तो उसमें इंटरेक्टिविटी हो गई. लेकिन समझो ये सब हो ही नहीं, तो बच्चे ऑटोमेटिकली जाएंगे कहाँ पे?
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पे आ जाएंगे, मोबाइल्स पे, लैपटॉप पे. या.
मोबाइल्स, टीवी,
या. या.
इंटरनेट, even worse.
या.
And then we crib about things that, children are getting too addicted with electronics. But why are they getting addicted to electronics? Unless until we give them better avenues. We should give them better avenues to play. That's when they will go away from electronics and actually have fun with their friends. So once I was in a meeting with a builder. I'll give you an example. I was in a meeting with a builder, and he said to me that Rashida, ये तो आप दिखा रहे हो, पहले तो बहुत सब ठीक है, तो मैं इतना सारा खर्चा क्यों कर? हाँ, this was more than 15 years ago, कि साल पहले की बात है. मैं इतना खर्चा क्यों कर? मतलब क्या जरूरत है इतना खर्चा करने की? बच्चे 12 साल के हो जाते हैं, 9 साल के हो जाते हैं, तो वो तो नीचे आते भी नहीं खेलने के लिए. तो क्या फायदा इतना ज़्यादा खर्चा करने? तो आई सेड, देखिए भाई, एक्चुअली आपकी बात तो सही है कि बच्चे आएंगे ही नहीं आपके प्लेग्राउंड में, तो आपको क्यों खर्चा करना? एक्चुअली बच्चे क्यों आएंगे अगर आपके प्लेग्राउंड इतने बोरिंग हैं, तो बच्चे आएंगे.
सही बात है.
तो आप अगर एक्साइटिंग प्लेग्राउंड्स बनाओगे तो नीचे आएंगे ना बच्चे खेलने के लिए. अगर आप बोरिंग प्लेग्राउंड बनाएंगे तो बोर होने के लिए कौन आने वाले नीचे?
सो प्लेग्राउंड भी प्लेग्राउंड भी ऐसी क्वालिटी की होनी चाहिए कि बच्चों को आजकल पसंद भी आना चाहिए. वो it should attract them to come to play.
Have a learning curve. See,
It should have a learning.
what?
Huh.
When are you're not bored when something innovative is happening every day, something new is happening every day.
Yeah.
Now, supposing there is a 4 feet height slide. Huh?
Yeah.
बच्चा आएगा नीचे. What is I'll give you the difference between static play and dynamic. This is where I'll get slightly technical, but this is very easy to understand, so I don't think you should have a problem.
Okay.
Everybody will know. अभी जैसे slide है, huh? You will go up the ladder and you'll come down the slide.
Correct.
Wait, supposing if you're doing this, पहले हफ्ते में 1-2 हफ्ते 3 हफ्ते 1 महीना आप बहुत खुश हो गए.
I understand what
Imagine doing this after 1 month, after 2 months, after 3 months of playing only on a slide, which is not changing.
it's not changing. Yeah.
Are you going to be really ecstatic about it, excited about it? हाँ, मैं नीचे जा रहा हूँ slide पे खेलने के लिए. कोई बच्चा नहीं बोले. After 3.
सही बात. सही बात है.
Basically, we need to keep it dynamic. We need to make it that children are learning all the time. थोड़ा सा innovative होना चाहिए. So that children come down enthusiastic. Or
Yeah.
I would say, for me, the parameter of success for me is when a child will come home at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, खेल वेल के, है ना? और बोलेगा अपनी माँ को, मम्मी आज तो मजा आ गया. This is the life. This is my concept.
Very
If a child is so satisfied playing in her playground, on his playground, ends, और घर का वो आ रहा है, right?
Yeah.
8 बजे, 8:30 बजे, और बोलता है मम्मी को कि भाई मम्मी आज तो बहुत मजा आ गया प्लेग्राउंड में. This is my concept. This is the one I'm looking.
So I understand. Very very nicely put. कि किस तरह बच्चों को क्या चीज इंटरेस्ट करेगी और बच्चे किस चीज से बोर नहीं होंगे. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लर्निंग का बच्चों के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एटलीस्ट स्पेशली एट दैट ग्रोइंग स्टेज, जब वो बच्चे बड़े हो रहे होते हैं तो ये सब उनको बहुत जरूरी है. इससे रियल एस्टेट में के वैल्यूज में फर्क पड़ता है आपके हिसाब से?
Yes, absolutely पता है. अभी देखिए, अगर आपने a while ago, this is a real story actually. A while ago, a friend of mine was going to buy a flat.
Yeah.
And she happened to say, I mean, she is now aware of it because she's talking to someone who's into playgrounds. Right?
Okay.
पहले उसको शायद इतना ध्यान नहीं था. But because she's my friend and she knows what I do,
Yeah.
she came and told me, अरे, there are 10 buildings. हाँ, प्लेग्राउंड इतना छोटा है, तो इमेजिन करो वो मेरे बच्ची को तो चांस ही नहीं मिलेगा झूले पे बैठने को. वो ये इतना छोटा सा प्लेग्राउंड बना दिया है. तो मतलब इतने सारे बच्चे होंगे और कहाँ पे उसको, मतलब इतना छोटा प्लेग्राउंड कैसे चलेगा 10 बिल्डिंग. You can imagine how people are so aware.
Yeah.
People are, see, today's buyer is a very discerning buyer. Today's buyer is not before.
Yeah.
पहले क्या होता था, भाई जो बिल्डर ने दे दिया ले लिया खत्म करो.
हाँ.
अभी people are more aware. People have so much of awareness and they are so discerning. They want the value for money. They want कि भाई मैंने इतना खर्चा करना है,
हाँ.
तो इसमें मुझे मिल क्या रहा है. There have been times, you know, where let us say we have already installed the play equipment.
Yeah.
We've already installed. Handover आ गया. और फिर the vendor comes back to us, you know, कि अरे the people are cribbing कि हमने कम दिया है और भी कुछ ये तो आपने 1 2 3 4 दिया है, तो we want 5 6 7 8. मैंने देखा है वो सोसाइटी में है, आपके यहाँ पे आपने डाला नहीं है, तो आपको देना पड़ेगा. People are demanding. And this is the today's buyer is a demanding buyer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Architect, I mean, the architect had to come back to me, the builder had to come back to me कि मैं इसमें और कुछ डाल दूँ because लोग गुस्सा हो रहे. So this should give you a very good, indicator as to how discerning and demanding today's buyer is. And that is how the market trends are also shaped. Market trends are also shaped because, पहले क्या हुआ था, बेटा जो अभी मैं 10-15 साल पहले की बात कर रही हूँ, जो ग्रिल वाला बनाता था ना ग्रिल,
हाँ, फैब्रिकेट जो करता है।
तब उसको बोला था फैब्रिकेटर, उसको बोला था बेटा कि भाई इधर इधर आ जा, अरे झूला बना दे, स्लाइड बना दे,
हाँ,
राइट? आपने 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 खुद देखा होगा, दिस दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज दिस इज अ थिंग।
इसके लिए कोई स्पेशलाइज कुछ था ही नहीं, कोई कंपनीज थे ही नहीं इसके लिए, फैब्रिकेटर ही बना लेते थे।
हाँ, और फैब्रिकेटर को एक्चुअली प्लेग्राउंड इक्विपमेंट के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं,
कुछ नहीं।
उसको पता नहीं है कि स्लाइड का एंगल क्या होना चाहिए, सेफ्टी फीचर क्या है, राउंडेड कॉर्नर्स क्या है, टेम्पोल प्रोट्रूडिंग है कि नहीं, उसको मतलब बच्चे को लग जाएगा, उसका पतरे का स्लाइड है वो ठीक है कि नहीं। पतरे का स्लाइड तो पहले पहले तो पतरे का स्लाइड ही बनाते मेटल स्लाइड्स, राइट?
हाँ,
हाँ, we never made from day one that we started making a slide in our, we never ever made a metal slide ever, because I actually never believed in it. Metal is, it hits out, it can tear into flesh, so it's like really, you know, you can see that this child is sliding और यहाँ से वो फट गया है. Like,
हाँ,
come on. So there were no safety features.
yeah.
We didn't know anything about safety features, even not even about durability. What about durability? Is this slide or swing or whatever, is it going to last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What is it in terms of components? How can we make it better? Are we using, now we are using FRP, we are using Lotto products in terms of slides, etc. So a lot of quality upgrades have come in now, where earlier there was none. So this is how market trends are shaped.
As shaped, yeah.
Safety.
I have, this is something which I have witnessed. There was a project in south of Pune, and I happened to be there. And I don't want to name the developer, very good developer, and they're doing a good job. So उनका वो experience center अंदर बना देते हैं, एक air condition, और they put up a screen, room theater लगाते हैं, और बाहर चिल्ड्रन के प्ले इक्विपमेंट्स लगे हुए थे, लॉन वॉन लगा करके, स्विंग और ये सब लगा हुआ था. एंड आई सॉ अ फैमिली, ए महाराष्ट्रियन फैमिली ऑफ 4, हस्बैंड वाइफ और 2 बच्चे. वो आए तो माँ बाप तो अंदर चले गए सेल्स ऑफिस के इसमें टुवर्ड्स द एक्सपीरियंस सेंटर, और बच्चे चले गए बाहर स्विंग और इसमें. एंड दे वर हैप्पीली प्लेइंग, अच्छा कूल था. और इनको वो ये जाके वहाँ बैठ गए, होम थिएटर में बैठने के लिए बड़ी स्क्रीन में एयर कंडीशन चल रहा है, और दे आर वॉचिंग रेक्टिनर्स में बैठ के. सो हस्बैंड स्पोक टू द सेल्स गए, सब कुछ होने के बाद में ही सेड ओके, वाइफ को बोलते चलो और भी देखते हैं. तो बोलते हैं नहीं, कहाँ चलना है, ये फाइनल है, दिस इज द बेस्ट दैट वी हैव लाइक. बच्चे भी देखो कितना अच्छा एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, यहाँ अच्छा है, यहीं लेते हैं, अभी कहीं नहीं चलना है. और दिस is a true example which has happened.
And this is a true example. Not only it's a good thing it's come from you and not from me, because people will think, okay, it's my business. But actually, this is the truth. Whenever they make an experience center, they make sure, the builder will make sure that he will put something for kids over there, because they want to tell people that this is a family space.
Correct.
This is a family space. Right?
Yeah.
So it's important. And play is a very, very important thing. If the kids are happy, parents will be happy.
So, Ritika, yeah, please, Kahin.
In fact, I would say, I would go to the extent of saying that I am actually a very, very strong advocate of transgenerational play. Play should not be the prerogative and the right of only kids. This is absolutely incorrect. मेरे बहुत मान्यता है कि भाई बच्चे खेलते हैं, मैं क्या बच्चा हूँ खेलने के लिए? लेकिन ये गलत, ये absolutely I would say unjust है for people you and me who are all grown up. But why should we not play? I want everybody to play. So I actually now create playgrounds which are transgenerational. And not just transgenerational, they should be integrated. So that you are actually mixing age groups and you're mixing the activities together as well. Right? So for instance, now we are innovating playgrounds by bringing music in the playground.
Okay.
right? So, okay, now let me ask you one thing. I am going to just ask, how many times is it that you are actually playing, that's one, in an outdoor space, number two, and playing with another age group, let's say a child. Generally क्या होता है प्लेग्राउंड्स?
Yeah.
जनरली आप क्या देखते हो? बच्चे अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ खेलते हैं
Hi.
और पेरेंट्स क्या खेलते हैं? अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ बातें करते हैं या बेंच पे बैठे होते हैं, मैगजीन देखते हैं या कुछ भी करते हैं या तो मोबाइल के ऊपर टाइम पास.
Ji.
So why is it not that we should be playing actually with our kids, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a very good.
First of all, we should be playing, period. ऊपर से we should be playing with our kids.
Yeah.
And what we should be doing is creating playgrounds where, let us say, a grandfather should be playing with his granddaughter.
Grandchild.
That is the integration we're looking for. Where otherwise, what are the things that they have in common? You tell me.
Yeah.
They don't have anything in common.
Correct.
I think we need to create spaces where people actually come together. Abhi suppose, okay, now you're talking about a society, right?
Yeah.
Let's say there are 5 buildings. No? So building A में जो रहता है, right? They don't know who's in building C. So these kind of spaces, community places that we have, open spaces where activities are there, it's an amazing opportunity for all of us to come together.
In bond. Absolutely.
In bond. So agar supposing, let's say, एक musical instrument रखा है 2-4, right? Let us say one xylophone is there, one drum is there. What will happen? It's not that a person is playing on his own. They will play. But supposing you're from building A and I'm from building B. We don't know each other. You're playing something, suddenly I come and we don't know each other. We would just probably look at each other and just say a small smile. Then I'm playing something. Then suddenly एक जुगलबंदी start हो जाती है. जहाँ पे मैं बोल रही हूँ, अरे ये नोट आप करो, मैं ये नोट कर, right? And then what happens? That engagement starts, right? And they're already coming to know each other. Right?
Yeah.
And that's how friendships are made. And in India, we have such a huge, rich culture.
Yeah.
A tapestry of, different, cultures coming together, right?
Correct.
We have such diversity. And we celebrate everything together. Actually, तो अपने देश में यही था ना कि सब साथ में मिलकर काम करते थे हमेशा. हम समय हमेशा साथ में एक दूसरे के रहते हैं. सेलिब्रेट भी करते हैं तो साथ में करते हैं. है ना? गणेश उत्सव है, अपना नवरात्रि है, होली है, जो भी अपने फेस्टिवल्स हैं, it's a collaborative thing. It's never a single thing. So our places are these kind of spaces that we create is a fantastic opportunity for all of us to come together. It's always
very Rashida, this is a very good message that can go through to people who are looking at getting into playground spaces and all. They must make sure that they not only start putting up good equipments, but also equipments which interest and attract both generations, older generation and the younger generation also, ताकि सारे लोग मिलकर को यूज करें और एक एक बॉन्डिंग हो सकती है इसके वजह से.
Absolutely.
So, Abhijit,
and it was the best way because it brings about happiness.
What kind of अब क्या नए इक्विपमेंट्स आए हैं? अभी आप तो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ नया इनोवेट करते रहते हैं, एंड यू हैव सो मेनी कंपनीज अब्रॉड जिनकी आप रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं जिनको. सो क्या अभी नया आ रहा है जो और आ गया है? It's very impactful and interesting.
So, right? See, okay, I'll tell you. When I was a young girl, or whether when you were youngsters, तो क्या था? अपने पास झूला, swing slide, सीसा, उस तरह की चीजें थी, right?
हाँ.
What? And then I told you I got pretty bored with this basic stuff.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, let's bring music into the playground. So there are playgrounds where we have done not just music. There I've spoken about this, but also zip lines, pyramid climbers, pura dhamal. Like it should be so many new things are happening. We are doing wooden playgrounds now. Yeah. So we bought wooden equipment, completely natural, blends into nature. It's not this, if you don't weave it out, like sometimes the architect will say, we have lots of trees, we have water flowing somewhere and we want a natural looking ambience. So we give them wooden equipment, for instance. And that's so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. And then sometimes the client will say, no, we want colorful equipment because, children like color. So we have a colorful equipment. Sometimes we have so many themes happening. Like we could have a nautical theme where we can have ships. We can have a forest theme. We can have a jungle theme, right? We can have a Cinderella theme, for instance, right? So many themes happen in a playground as well. Depends on it's really creative. It's absolutely imaginative. It's exciting. Actually, it's extremely exciting.
So, ये जो equipments है, apart from fixing them in a society or in a builder's project, ये bungalows में या बड़े societies में जहाँ पर bungalow societies हैं या कोई family homes हैं या कोई farm houses हैं, वहाँ पर भी ये बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर सकती है.
Absolutely. All of these places that you said, whether it is a resort or a private bungalow, we have done all of this. Recently, we had a client who came to us. It was a private residence, right? And they had, I think it was in Pauna के पास. There was उनको ऐसा था कि प्लेग्राउंड नीचे है यहाँ पे, right? So from the bedroom, the child will step out of the bedroom and slide down to the play. So the slope hill. So there was a small slope like this, right? So instead of coming down the stairs, the child should, so we had it's called a banister slide or a hill slide. So the child would step out of his bedroom or her bedroom and then slide down and then niche yahan pe aur play in the cover. So these are concepts that we do, Sometimes we do agility trails, so pura aise, for one school we are doing, in fact for 2-3 schools we are right now designing, where we have complete agility trails, starting from point A. So you climb up, down, there's that pura activity circle hota hai aise. And then, so you have literally done your strength, agility, balancing, and a lot of teamwork. There's that pura aise trail banate hain. So a lot of innovations we do in, so it is out of the box thinking. A lot of out of the box thinking we do. Yeah, we do basketball trampolines. That is really out of the box. So outside बड़े trampolines होते हैं जहाँ मुझे बहुत पसंद है jump करना. And then I've never played basketball, but over there it's easy. And you jump and you dunk in. You have a lot of fun. It's a
So So just because we have zip lines,
zip lines are a favorite anytime.
Just because we have grown up doesn't mean that हमारी इच्छा नहीं है, but we also have desires to play on these equipments. I'll tell you.
I hope.
I had gone to Google's office in Hyderabad, और Google के ऑफिस में वो swing लगी हुई है. You can come to the ground floor by using that swing. So हम लोग 4-5 दोस्त गए थे वहाँ पर. तो वहाँ पर वो 2-3 लोग तो वहाँ से swing करके आ गए. We came by the stairgate. वो लोग swing. Fun.
That's right. So okay. So that brings me to the topic of how the whole idea of play, which is a mindset which should not stop after you have stopped being a kid. And actually that kid in you will die if you let it play. And it will be happy and so much full of fun if you just let it. So I by this podcast, I would want to tell everybody, keep the child alive and play, no matter what age you are, and you will see that you've never grown old. Right?
Amazing.
One way to stop growing old is just to play all the time. Have fun.
So you are already exciting me to do that, and I'm sure जो भी इस podcast को सुन रहे होंगे, देख रहे होंगे, they'll also get excited and understand what we are trying to say here.
Absolutely. In fact, I would say रोज आप कुछ ना कुछ करो.
हाँ.
कुछ खेल अपनी लाइफ में रोज करिए. even if
Absolutely.
cards, or even if it is playing a board game, or even if it is just playing some funny game at home with your friends, family. Recently, I had gone to a Diwali time. I had got to meet someone, and I had taken along with me some games, board games, and they were like looking at me like, "Ye kya kar rahi ho aap?" Because I just got for lunch and we were there for the day. And I said, "No, but we will play." And they were like, "Why? It's not holiday time." I said, "No, we should play." And we actually ended up playing so many games, and everybody had a great time. So I just want to tell everybody, play on, keep playing, and be happy.
Absolutely.
That's what I want to say.
Rashida, one important question to you. It is about design and implementation. What are the key considerations when you plan a play area?
Nice. Okay. So first of all, when we are designing playgrounds. Okay, let's talk about what we do in terms of designing playgrounds. Okay, when we get layouts, the first thing that we do a lot of work with landscape architects. Because when a builder gives it to us, landscape architects will have designed some play area.
Correct.
First, what we will do is research the project. Yeah, but there are different kinds of projects happening. So it could be a budget one. One builder could have several types of projects happening at any particular point of time. So let us say a builder X will have a budget home happening. Then it could have a mid-segment project happening somewhere else. Another villa project happening another place, right? A lot of builders are building schools also now. So that is another project that, could be happening. It could be a resort that a builder is doing or anybody else is doing. So, and all of these are different kinds of projects. They will have different allotment of space and layouts.
Yes.
They will have different demographies of the user. So what is the profile of the user? So a person who stay in, let us say, in a 2 BHK, okay, that particular project will be completely different in design, in amenities, in budgeting, in positioning, than, let us say, a villa project. Correct?
Yeah.
So a villa project or a very high-end project, a very premium project, which will have a lot of amenities, world-class stuff happening, what best materials will be used. Again, the budgeting of both these are very different. So it cannot be a one-size-fits-all. You cannot go and say, okay, so that is what is the advantage, what we have with a global portfolio and a comprehensive portfolio, because we have Indian lines, we have Asian lines, we have European lines. And unlike other people, I will not go and say, okay, one or two brochures are there and you can choose from here. It's not like that. Literally, the world is my playground. So now what I do is I mix and match from all these different verticals that we have. So first, I will try to understand what is the project like. Who am I catering? Am I catering to a person who's a world-traveled person who's buying a flat for, let us say, 4 CR, right? तो वहाँ पे जो जाएगा वो अलग ही होगा ना.
हाँ जी.
उसका budget ही अलग होगा. Right? So it is for me to realize that, okay, do my research as to what is the demography of the user. Then I will come up and ask the architect or the builder, okay, actually, what is your vision for this project?
Yeah.
What is your vision for this project? Are we going to, what's the budget for it? So we customize as per the space allocated to us. We design as per whatever the space is given to us, but also more importantly, even the budget that is allocated. So no matter what the client's budget is, I should be able to do something innovative there. I should be able to give something creative there. I should know how to balance his or her budgets. Right?
But sometimes they might give you little restriction of space भी होती है कई जगह पे. Then how do you manage that?
Yes. Unfortunately, you have to manage it somehow. Whatever it is, you have to manage it. It doesn't matter. See, my job is, I understand my job. The client is a buyer, but the user is a child. So no matter what I'm given, I have to make sure that I make safe play. As number one criteria is safety. You never cram up equipment so that the child will get hurt. I would never ever do this. Yeah, I would put maybe 2 things less if the space is a constraint.
Yeah.
Instead of cramming it up and then children getting hurt. So number one is safety. Always important to make sure that you put in durable products which are going to really last. That is why it's important to figure out the project, for instance, will have completely different.
So here, apart from the safety
budget or anything else.
Apart from the safety standards, the installation, a proper installation professionally with professional help is also very important. कि कभी वो निकल ना जाए.
We don't just provide equipment.
Yeah.
That is, see, when you're first of all, when I will start to research on the project, then I will come back and say, okay, this is the correct thing to go with it. Make sure that I will put something which is the best value for money for the client. Durability is something, safety and durability have to be extremely, extremely high because it's a child's product. It is not some chair or tube light or fan, ऐसा कुछ product नहीं है कि भाई ठीक है. Safety has to be extremely high. No rounded, sharp edges. Everything has to be rounded. No protruding nut bolts, those kind of things. You have to make sure that the strength of the product is enough over and beyond a way that it is catered for, right? So, I want people to come back, with a complaint.
But one point here, इसमें do you have any certification for safety standards? आपको कुछ लेने पड़ते हैं?
Okay. Not in India yet. Okay. So, safety certificate. Certifications होती हैं. Yeah. So manufacturing standards we went over here as ISO and everything. But like Singapore will have its own safety standards. But India may say because this is not a mainstream product, we don't have a specific body that we adhere to, right? But if you buy imported, then of course it comes this safety standards. All certifications come in, and they really, really are very rigorous about their parameters. Extremely rigorous.
Yeah. But यहाँ भी, don't you think there should be, for example, एक बार वो play equipment लग गए हैं, तो there should be some kind of an surety कि हाँ ये ठीक लगा है, nobody would get hurt or things like that. या substandard चीज नहीं है.
यहाँ पे certification नहीं है particularly, but when we're making something, right?
Yeah.
It is we have our specifications, material specifications already set since more than 2.5 decades now, right?
Huh.
So all of that R&D has been done. We do not sell any product or make any products without R&D. That just does not happen. That does not happen. So even though we don't have a specific safety standard that India has formally, still each person who is manufacturing, hopefully, at least we make sure that our material specifications are, set in stone since years. And a lot of R&D has been done on it already before. Actually, we don't install anything unless and until the R&D is complete. So that is important. And we don't provide equipment. The thing from start to finish, bespoke solutions. So
this was
developing integration app.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. So, one of the best, a lot of people ask what's the best play area, in terms of layouts. I think a lot of times, people like to see a lot of curvatures and, circular designs on our layout, actually layout. And according to me, I know this will sound very traditional, but according to me, the best layouts are squares and rectangles.
Okay.
It's, you get the best traffic flow you can design that in terms of safety, in terms of traffic flow, exits, entries. When it's circular, a lot of wastage of space happens. Curvatures also, nooks and corners get empty. So in terms of pure design, it would be really good to have just straight lines. And because even the traffic flow with the kids is better. So I would say that, this is something important that I would recommend it.
Very nice.
And design.
Rashida, what do you think is the future of play equipments going forward? ये कैसा होगा और ये real estate को कैसे enhance करता है projects को या family home?
Okay, so I think the future of play, it is more innovative. Yeah, I think it will get more and more innovative. In fact, I probably see a bit of AI also coming into playgrounds. Okay, so yes, I don't think anything is ruled out here. A lot of electronics will coming to the playgrounds that children. अभी भी है थोड़ा बहुत electronic playground भी होते हैं जहाँ पे you will have few stunts and then people are competing with each other either and you hit here and you that and you climb here and you. Those kind of things are also happening, but I think it's also going to be a bit of electronic in the physical playground happening. So I think that will happen. And there's some getting electronics, but agility oriented. A lot of innovations will. Yeah.
So innovations are going to way forward. Innovations और आएंगे इसमें and नए equipments, नए designs बनाए.
Yes, and one more thing I would say कि India में I would say कि मतलब we should come. Let's bring the box of swings like seesaw, and all those swings are amazing, and I love them, and I love to swing on swings, and the traditional bread and butter has to be there. But I would say कि कुछ धमाल करें, कुछ zip lines like, कुछ different kinds of climbers like, so that our children really, not only children but when for older people, we should bring more innovation and integrate them also into the play area so that everybody gets a chance to play. Everybody needs to play. So design and develop playgrounds with that in mind.
Yeah. So I think ये जो जैसे आप बात कर रही हैं, whatever you're speaking, I'm sure the makers or the designers are also considering this thing, looking at the complete environment that is happening throughout the world. I mean, why India? Throughout the world, ये सब चल ही रहा है.
To answer your question about how this affects the real estate market, I think, just like, देखो, 20 years ago, जो buildings बनती थी, अभी वैसी बनती है, नहीं बनती है.
नहीं.
Right?
Change हो गया है.
Right. We have evolved. We have evolved in the entire construction process and what we are doing now in terms of development, etc. Right?
Yeah, correct.
In the same way, even the playgrounds have to evolve.
Yeah.
And it will evolve. And it should. And that is how it evolves because it is important.
So here I want you to let us have an advice to people, maybe developers or family homes, जो अपनी प्लेग्राउंड की इक्विपमेंट अपग्रेड करना चाहते हैं या ऐड करना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए क्या एडवाइस है आपकी?
जो अपग्रेड कर, मेरे पास बहुत सारे इंक्वायरीज आती हैं जो लेट अस से दे हैव सम ओल्डर सोसाइटीज जहाँ पे रीडेवलपमेंट भी होता है आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा. But even forget that, even the older societies, we used to have, in fact, we almost in a month, I would be getting a whole bunch of inquiries. Old societies who want to revamp that area. So typically, it will always be like a swing slide seesaw रखा हुआ है, right? जो 15-20 साल पहले था, and now it's all rusted and everything, and it's all broken. And then we revamp it. So now we've come up with new kind of climbers and scramblers and stuff like that. We have different kinds of swings happening, even in the Indian range. It's not, of course, you can always Asian European as well. But even if you have a budgeted issue and then say, okay, let's do only Indian equipment, but and new designs happening, that we can create a better space for them than what they had installed earlier. So the upgrade will be very, in fact, the upgrade will be very high and it will be very good. And ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई expensive चीज़ ही अच्छी है, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं. We have lot of budget, equipment as well, which is perfectly fine. We've done, with economy range we've installed in Thar Desert and survives. So yeah, I mean, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि आप, expensive ही दो तो अच्छा रहेगा, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. It's so, change it could also.
So, can you tell our viewers कि ऐसा एक general छोटा सा maybe about 1,000-2,000 square feet of space को playground लगाने के लिए या equipment लगाने के लिए, how much would be an approximate cost? Maybe a small area in a society.
As far as costing for play concerned, let us say if it is a revamp of a play area, it could cost. If a budget is an issue, and between let us say 1,200 square feet अगर है आपके पास, about 2.5 lakhs में भी अगर आप single units डालते हैं, जिस तरह से swing slides, seesaw, expanders ऐसे करके, तो within 2.5-3 lakhs में भी आपका काम हो सकता है. उससे कम में भी if I can manage, in terms of depends on the age group that
Correct.
Smaller slides चाहिए, age group matters a lot, and it depends on how it is. If you want something, I mean, this is on the economy range, then we have an Indian premium range also. That could cost about anything 4 to 5 lakhs maybe हो सकता है. If it's a builder who's actually for his project if he's doing, so obviously उसका costing completely different होगा because there's a commercial aspect involved, right? He would spend anything from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs for that much square feet, let's say 1,200 square feet. If it's a very high-end project, people would want to spend, depending on, like I said earlier, about the demography and the budget of the whole issue and what the project is like. People would spend any from 30, 40, 50, 60 lakhs also. So it all depends. मतलब वो Indian है, Asian है, European है, mixture है चीजों का, कितना innovation जाता है. So a lot of parameters are there before you actually come up with the right thing. So this is where it's not just about equipment, it's about putting the right thing.
Correct.
चीजें तो बहुत सारी हैं, लेकिन actually accurate क्या है वहां पे जाने के लिए? What is the right for that particular project? That is the true scope.
So this is an amazing thing that we have covered today, and I'm sure our viewers are going to enjoy this very much because ये aspect हमने कभी जिंदगी में सोचा नहीं है. And I do so many podcasts, so many videos I've made. But a playground is a very silent part of any project. हर project में होता ही है. And it is desired by the families जो खरीदने आते हैं वहाँ apartment या villas. उनको ये एक playground का location जरूरी चाहिए होता है अपने बच्चों के लिए. And I see a lot of people come. वो बोलते हैं यार हम यहाँ से शिफ्ट करना है. मैं क्यों शिफ्ट कर रहे हो? बिल्डिंग तो अच्छी है लेकिन प्ले एरिया नहीं है. बच्चे हो गए तो अभी उनको प्ले एरिया चाहिए. वो घर में थोड़ी पड़े रहेंगे. We want them to say go down, meet people. उनके एज के बच्चों के साथ खेलेंगे तो ही इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट होगी और उनकी ग्रोथ होगी उस हिसाब से. So this is how the youngsters and younger generation thinks. So I'm sure आपने जो भी अभी बताया है, whatever we have discussed, it is in line with the exact thought that is going out in the market today. And thank you very much for being with us. Rishita, one concluding thought, what would you like to say to our viewers?
I would like to say that, builders create amazing spaces, for a reason. Actually, तो यही है ना कि सब हम मिलके रहें और एक दूसरे से के साथ celebrate करें, right? Play area and other amenities that the builder creates is basically designed for that, right?
Correct.
And we should all come together, play in the play area, not just children. Everybody should play in the play area and enjoy ourselves because that's where all the fun happens and that's where everybody can come together and live a peaceful life. That's what
Amazing. I'm so happy, Rashida, I got you on the podcast today. I mean, this is absolutely exciting, and I'm sure people will love this. Thank you very much for being yourself and being so jovial and full of life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Most obliged.
Thank you for being with me till the end of this podcast. I'm sure you liked it. If you found it useful, please share it with others. Do not forget to subscribe the channel if you're new to it, and let us know in the comment sections what kind of topics you would want us to cover in the future episodes of the podcast. See you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.